Welcome to the African Album Review Podcast, where we review Africa's best and latest music projects.
Africa, Murise. My name is MJ Wemoto and I welcome you to the African Album Review Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today, my people. How you doing? Me, I'm doing good. The year is winding down. Damn, can you believe it's like almost the last week of November? Anywho, gotta do what we gotta do. Guess what? Nigeria's streak is done. It is done. We've got an album review from Zambia for this week.
The latest African album review is... Loading.
Now, I'll tell you what, I have been meaning to do this podcast for about a week or so. The album is still fresh, only a couple of weeks old, but hey, I've got the chance to do it now, and you might have guessed it, Holstar, Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto. That's the album that's out right now, and yeah, I'm ready to do this thing. Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto by Holstar was released on November 2nd, 2020. It has 12 songs, 45-minute, 57-second runtime, 17 features. Damn. Multiple producer placements including Calvin Saar's Black on the Beat, Pro G, Shinko Beats, Reverb, Focus Beats, and Morgan the Syndicate.
Album Review.
Let's analyze the music.
Afropolitan kicks off the Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto album with Holstar enlisting the talents of Nigerian songstress Maka in a strong message to the youth of the African continent. Maka says, rise up Africans, nobody's gonna give it to you. And the production credits go to Cape Town-based producer Pro G, and also check out the lyric video for Afropolitan, and it's on YouTube. You're gonna love it, trust me. One of the singles from this album is Mtendere, which has a fantastic video on YouTube. The video is a topic for another day, but the song will go down in Zambian music history. This is the kind of song that can still be played 20 years from now, with people saying, wow, you know what, 2020 was a crazy year, but we got some of the best music out of it. There is something undeniably nostalgic about how Olimba sings on Mtendere, and the beat itself, where Shinko Beats really must have studied the sound and just went for it. For Holstar himself to find a flow for such a song and make it not feel out of place was a masterstroke, and I don't think he gets enough credit for what he did on this one. A song of similar mold on this album would be the track Nyali Ya Moto, which is the title track really, featuring one of the most amazing voices on the continent in the form of Kim of Diamonds from Malawi and Nya Uyu. It explains the idea behind the album title and encourages Africans to work hard and work smart at anything they want to do. And if you want to know what Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto means, then keep listening. I reveal that later on in the podcast. LSKOG is one of those songs that will fly under the radar, but as much as it will, it's way better than that. Muzo Zaurani gave a legendary performance, while Holstar gave a memorable verse where he details what the Lusaka life is all about, especially in the first verse. That's where he really captured the essence of Lusaka. The dark, gritty bass line is there, but the beat loosely relies on it. I don't know, something about it just works. It's really awesome. There's a classic advertising voiceover that gives a rundown of Lusaka for anyone not in the know, and I thought this was a great touch by Holstar because basically he's advertising Lusaka to the rest of us and making it just seem like this wild place that you want to live. And because of this song, I just want to go to Zambia and just check out Lusaka. I don't think I've ever been to Lusaka actually. I've passed through Lusaka as in one of those hidden transit kind of situations. But again, a story for another day. Obviously, I gotta give Black on the Beat and Reverb their props because they were in their bag for this one. The beat is crazy. I love it. Close to You is likely to be the banger of the project. Could be the banger of the project. Everything about this song works, from the intro melody, which is so easy to catch on to. It's a mid-tempo love song which leaves you just wanting to dedicate it to your bae. The whole cast showed up on this one. Calidocious, Jake, Thanel, and Young Willie. Of course, Pro G on the beat. Sick beat, but the whole cast, including Holstar himself, I think, sometimes when a song just comes together, Close to You is that kind of song. You get another mid-tempo vibe on Lutumpengo featuring Sokoma Temai from Zimbabwe, who drops one of my favorite verses on this project. The two rappers, Holstar and Sokoma Temai, show their caliber and tell the world they mean business when they are behind the mic, and we know they both do. It has a scintillating dancehall fusion beat by Kelvin Sars and keeps vibing from start to finish. Mpaka is the track that follows Lutumpengo, and in a sequencing masterclass, you actually feel the flow from song to song, especially these two. They have the same vibe, they have the same feel, so it's like you're just listening to one seamless mix. Shout out to Louisi for coming through big time on this record. What he did on here, he killed that Mpaka chorus and the verses. But then again, man like Holstar really did something here. He opens up his verse with a love song for the dearly departed. Not departed from death, but it's still regarded. And like the first thing, I was like, wait, a love song for the dearly departed? I'm like, oh my God, it's for someone who passed away. That's so sad. And then when he just flipped it and he said, no, this is like for an ex. Like, the kind of situation where you used to be really, really close, and it was one of those like, maybe you two are going to get married, but now you don't even talk anymore. You're like strangers. That kind of departed. Man, this guy. The song could get you thinking of an ex you thought you were over, and you might be looking for numbers. Word of advice, don't do it.
Album review.
The technical side of things.
Conceptually, Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto sees Holstar focusing on collaborations with some amazing young talent from all across Africa. And of course, I'm going to reveal what Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto means. The concept behind the album goes with the title of the album, and that loosely translates to passing the torch. So Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto, giving the torch to someone else, so to speak. I really took to the concept because it did something more than showcase some up-and-coming kings and queens in the African music industry. It gave a whole new dimension to Holstar's sound. The album sounds fresh, the style sounds new, and it just sounds so 2021. And why this is important is because when Holstar told me that he was coming up with an album, I thought I was going to get more, boom bap rap. He's really hardcore like that. But when you listen to the album, it's different. It's not that at all. The themes on Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto are quite varied, including domestic violence, love and relationships, Pan-Africanism, Christianity, joy, working hard, happiness, family life, It's just, there's so much to it. A great aspect about Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto is how much the songs have unpredictable structures. Sometimes Holstar comes in almost 2 minutes into the song, which shows how much he wasn't looking to take center stage on his own project. Does that even make sense? I really respect that though, because I think it speaks volumes to the kind of person Holstar is. For a time he was managing Zone Fam, and he could have totally been like, yo, I want to be the guy, but he's always that kind of person who's willing to put other people in front of him, but he's great at spotting talent, he's great at working with other people, so yeah. Sonically, Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto is a joy to listen to. Paul Cruz worked his magic on most of the songs. I think maybe about 9 out of the 12 songs on the mixing and mastering, and showed why he's a trusted engineer of sound. I would rate this album right up there, and the clarity is something I'll emphasize. When it's there, you never have to look for it. The great thing about the album as well, besides the fact that Paul Cruz mixed and mastered 9 tracks, I didn't even realize that when listening to it until I actually read the credits, and I was like, oh, so there's actually 4 or 5 people that had their hands on this project, but it still sounds like just one project. It doesn't sound like something was recorded somewhere else and all that stuff.
Album review.
The final thoughts.
Overall, for me, this is almost a no-skips album, and those aren't easy to come by. Where Holstar hooked me is by making a modern hip-hop album that recognizes the various fusions that make hip-hop what it is today. There's too many good songs on here, such as Back Against the Wall featuring Princess Natasha Chansa, Paka featuring Louise, Close to You, Tendere featuring Olimba, Dutu Mpengo featuring Sokomatemai, Plenty featuring Solomon Plate and Cynic, where Holstar did a little bit of singing at the start, and I love his vocal range. He has this baritone-like voice. It's pretty cool. Big ups to Solomon Plate, who has a phenomenal voice and held down the chorus here. And Cynic, who's still doing his thing on the mic. Amazing rapper from Zim. You gotta listen to Cynic. Yeah, and I mean, there's just plenty of songs on the album which I was like, yeah, I would vibe to this. I think out of the 12, I would pick maybe about 10. Those are the ones that I would be like, yeah, I'll listen to this over and over. I really did not expect this kind of album, like I said, and from Holstar at least. But he totally showed a different class on Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto. It's amazing when an artist has, a reputation for doing something, then he still does it, but he switches his style up, and it still sounds good. Man, I loved this album. You too, you can listen to Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto by Holstar. It is available everywhere, honestly. But the first place you probably want to go is mvesesani.com, and go and buy a copy. Otherwise, it is available on streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, wherever you get it. And enjoy something from Zambia. If you like hip-hop, definitely listen to this one. But if you also like hip-hop with some fusions like dancehall, just traditional African music, pop, it's all there. So yeah, give it a try. Kupeleka Nyali Ya Moto by Holstar. And that's it from me. My name is MJ Wemoto, son of Zimbabwe, signing out. This was the African Album Review Podcast. Peace. Dende.
Moto Music, the best place to listen to podcasts about African music on